Bonsoir à tout le monde. Nous sommes bien contents d'être nous rencontrer ce soir dans l'autre émission, Politics, Law and Society. Nous sommes bien contents d'être nous jouons à ce soir. Nous connaissons plaisir d'être quitter nous entrer la CAO encore. À ce soir, nous avons un great show for you. Nous avons deux éducateurs qui passent là, qui peuvent parler avec nous à propos de l'éducation. On commence avec Lauren Book. Lauren Book is the CEO and the founder of Lawrence Kids. Nous connaissons que son jeune lié dans la communauté, elle finit kounya que nous voyons que il peut représenter nous à Tallahassee. Lauren, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
How are you? How's
I'm
everything?
fine. I'm fine. Thank you so much for accepting this invitation to come to the show to talk about, Lauren Kids and also the changes that you are bringing to Tally with you in 2016.
Thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here and kind of share a little bit more about Lawrence Kids.
Okay. And we have another educator here with us, which is Bernadette Pierre, who is the president of the Haitian Educators of Dade. Bernadette, welcome to the show.
Merci, bonsoir, merci pour recevoir moi dans le show après-midi. Moi bien content que moi là avec Lauren Book, on l'autre éducatrice, pour assurer pour nous cas détailler pour porter un peu de nouvelles pour la communauté. Merci.
Okay, let's get right into it. Let's begin with Lauren. We know that as a little girl, something happened to you, something terrible happened to you. And as a result of that, you are using, with that experience and that information, you are bringing change, and the change that you have brought not only in the state of Florida, but throughout the country and probably throughout the world. Tell us about that.
Absolutely. From the time that I was 10 years old until I was 16, I was sexually abused by my family's nanny. She lived in our home. My abuse went on 365 days a year. There was no times off, oftentimes while my parents were in the very next room. Actually not very far from where we're sitting today,
Right.
Living in Aventura. And from that truly horrific experience as a young child, not being able to find my voice, and finally disclosing the sexual abuse that I was suffering to a guidance counselor, really getting to learn and understand the issue and the things that come along with being a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, struggling with anorexia, self-mutilation, and trying to fight back from that, and learning that there are tremendous obstacles, not only emotionally for survivors, but also out there that shouldn't exist. And
Right.
once I was able to find what those obstacles were, decided that I felt more empowered fighting back against what some of those were. And, it's a sad reality today, as we were talking about, 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 5 boys will become the victim of child sexual abuse before the age of 18. And individuals with a developmental delay or disability are at a significantly greater risk. Actually, 90% of that population will be sexually abused at some point in time in their life. And only 1 to 3% of those cases will ever be brought to light. And so decided we needed to do more and that there was a way to do that. And so in 2007, we founded Lawrence Kids, and we work to educate the population about childhood sexual abuse through an in-school curriculum called Safer, Smarter Kids. We talk about education and advocacy, and we know that 95% of sexual abuse is actually preventable with that education and awareness. And so we work extremely hard to educate children about being empowered, but also parents and communities. And we know that there are different issues that each community deals with. And we've actually spent a tremendous amount of time with UNICEF and the World Health Organization educating different communities in the Caribbean about some of those issues, and so have spent a lot of time there and really grown some of those things. And we actually have some tremendous resources on our website available in Spanish and Creole as well. So I've been working on my Creole.
Very nice. Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your experience with us. We know that, you just mentioned the statistic, 1 in 3 Florida women and 1 in 5 men said they have been sexually abused before the age of 18. Bernadette, as an educator, and you have been a teacher in Miami-Dade County Public Schools for almost 20 years, how does, the public school system are helping or preventing this kind of abuse or preventing this kind of issues that are happening in our community?
Well, nous avons différentes façons que public school yo deal avec situation ça. Yon exemple kabao que si on ti moun vle yo pense que y a been sexually abused, you're going to aller côté un counselor, you're going to joindre un teacher.
Même si Lauren te fait après 6 ans que bah elle a passé.
You're going to joindre un teacher, a teacher that you are feeling very comfortable with. You can disclose it, and then they can refer you to a guidance counselor. And then, believe it or not, that whatever you discuss with that counselor behind closed door, it's your privacy, unless of course, it lead to something that can be harmful to yourself. Then they have to disclose that. So we have multiple ways to deal with this situation within the school system.
Okay.
And then also, Lauren has also have a curriculum.
Yeah,
and then she came to one of our schools, Michael Crop.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a lot of fun.
She did a rally
We
there.
did.
Okay.
And then to promote the abuse.
Okay. When we're talking about education, and I think, and I think the way I started to get involved with Lauren Kids is the issue that it's okay to tell.
Absolutely.
Let's get into that, because, that's one of the more difficult things to do, to actually go forward. It's okay to tell. But just hold on to your thought. Before we get into that, we're going to take a quick break. Just keep in mind that you are watching Law, Politics, and Society. We'll be right back.
Sinal Consulting Group, c'est un consultant business center pour business plan, incorporation, 501c3 for non-profit, income tax préparation. Sinal Consulting Group, c'est la référence 305 308 82 29. Office là offre tout, life insurance, money management et investment. Relais jodi pour une consultation gratuite 305 308 82 29.
Si vous avez besoin d'un avocat pour immigration, cas criminel, l'État et fédéral, relais avocat dans le bureau André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Pour accident machine, dérangement dans le travail, glisser et tomber, relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Ou ka gen droit jusqu'à $10,000 dans bénéfice. C'est seul un avocat qui peut faire rejoindre l'argent. Nous ici là pour servir. Si vous pas touché, nous pas touché. Ou pas le droit frais avocat avec dépenses. Relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46 ou soit aller dans 550 Northeast 124e rue dans North Miami.
Bon retour, nous bien contents d'être vous connecté avec nous, les fonds nous retourner là. We were talking about the educational piece that both the Miami-Dade County Public Schools and your organization, Lauren Kids, brought to the table. And the issue, it's okay to tell. Not just it's okay to tell, but let's get into on how to make sure that the population, the people are educated about this disease.
I think that it's important for people to realize that there's a tremendous amount of shame and embarrassment that a survivor carries with them after being a victim. I know for me, I was afraid that my parents wouldn't believe me, that my abuse went on for 6 years and I didn't tell. So they may have thought that I wanted it or didn't stop it soon enough. So I carried that with me and wanted to keep it. And I meet survivors all the time who are in their 90s, in their 80s, who just told me for their first time. And they carry this with them, and that's not for us to carry. And so I kept getting struck with how important it was to let people know that it's okay to tell. It's okay to share these things. It's not for us to carry. And most importantly, it's important to realize that an average offender or predator will assault as many as 117 children before they're caught.
Oh,
That's
wow.
117. And so we have
Victims.
before they're caught. And so I think it's really important that not only for you to break free of the chains that bind you, to keep other kids safe and be empowered and not be afraid and run from some of those scarier things because you know what they say about scars.
Right,
They're the
that's right.
toughest part of who and what we are. And so I think that that was a message that kind of drove home for survivors and really drove our curriculum forward. And we teach from a place of fun and not fear, and we had a lot of fun at CROP when we were there. We're currently in over 45,000 classrooms in the state of Florida.
Wow.
And growing. We have a pilot program in New York, in Oregon, in Pennsylvania, and growing exponentially to Oregon. And so we're really changing the way that we look at an issue that people were very much afraid to look at. But I think that when you talk about using your I mean business voice in a situation that feels unsafe, gives children a voice and makes them feel empowered. And I think also the way that we grew up, I know that my parents taught me stranger danger. And it's something we were talking about earlier, that there's a particular look of somebody who may harm us. And the reality is 90% of the time, children are abused by someone they know, love, and trust. And these are people in children's lives. And so they need to look for behaviors that make them feel unsafe or uncomfortable, and then how to access help by going to those trusted adults like their teachers and guidance counselors and people in the community that they know who they know will be able to help them. And then educating teachers and counselors on how to report abuse and beefing up those reporting policies that we have in our state and you know, continuing to bolster who and what we are so that we can protect children.
Right. And at the same time, you know, which I think that's important, I mean, by telling, by reporting the incident, to me, I think you also helping the predator. You're also helping that person because now you could actually stop the abuse, and the abuser can actually go out there and get some help. You know, I mean, does that fit into the category of the kind of help that the Lauren Kids offer?
I think that we typically only work with survivors in prevention. And I think that what it really does is it stops the abuse from occurring and really ensures that our communities are safer. And also allowing survivors to know that we wrap our arms around you and that we're going to continue to keep you safe. And, you know, I think that we've really in the state of Florida made it a very bad place to be if you're a sex offender, and I'm okay with that. And we want to keep it that way. And I think that we look at these issues in a different way, and we want to keep children safe. And I'm really proud to say that we have advocated on behalf of issues that have made Florida a much safer place for its children and families. And you know, you have helped us in the path and in that way to make this area a safer place.
Yeah, in terms of, go ahead.
Just to piggyback on what Lauren just said, and this is why, like, an association like us is so important. She offer the whole curriculum, which is posted on our website. But as you already know, sometimes our community are not accessible to going online to get the information. An association like the Association of Haitian Educators can take that information as we're doing parent workshops, because we do parent workshops often. We disseminate those information to the parents and try to go into detail on how they can report just in case if they know anything, if their children have spoken to them, or if the kids, we also have student workshop, so the students know exactly how to go by, you know, about of reporting those abuse, which is extremely important because sometimes in our community, because we are from the Caribbean, it's really, really uncomfortable. I mean, you know, like she just said, she's not even from, you know, a Caribbean island. Imagine a young person coming to their parents and telling them that someone that the family are very close to have done something terribly wrong to them. So it's extremely hard, and the students have learned, and the parents have also learned to listen and look at for different sides, like she just said, that can dictate something that's happening to their kids.
Well, and I also think it's a tight community, and having such a tight community makes it difficult.
Right. Okay. Shining light in darkness. I know that you know, not only you have the walk, But, you know, so far you counted 42 million kids that have been abused. You know, talk about don't miss the signs. Let's talk about walk in my shoes.
Oh man, walk in my shoes. If I would have known 6 years ago that I would still be walking 1,500 miles, it would have been a Segway in my shoes. It has been one of the most rewarding and amazing things that I have ever done in my entire life. To walk 30 miles in average every day for 42 days to represent the 42 million survivors of childhood sexual abuse. And meeting these courageous survivors as young as 3 and 4 years old, up into their 90s, when the first time that they've disclosed abuse was on a highway, walking the state of Florida. You learn a tremendous amount, but you also get to pay attention. You get to pay attention, slow down, listen to things that are important to survivors, and I think that it's helped us advocate for issues all along the way, and got us to a place where we weren't afraid to look at this issue, and we brought a face and a voice. And it wasn't just my voice, it was their voice. And I'm reminded of a child advocacy center in the Panhandle where a 6-year-old who was sexually abused by her father at 4 brought me 35 cents from her piggy bank and said, this is so that you can help all of the other little girls like me.
Oh, wow.
She walked every single mile with us, came to Tallahassee, and started a fund at her child advocacy center that has since raised over $5,000
Oh, wow.
to bring about awareness in their community. And that's really, I had no idea when I started Walk in My Shoes that it was about giving children and empowering them and giving them the tools to become not just survivors, but thriving survivors.
Wow. Well, as you can see, there's a lot of information that is being brought to us by these two fine educators. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Sinal Consulting Group, c'est un consultant Business Center pour business plan, incorporation, 501c3 for non-profit, income tax préparation. Sinal Consulting Group, c'est la référence. 305 308 82 29. Office là offre tout, life insurance, money management et investment. Relais jodi pour une consultation gratuite 305 308 82 29.
Si vous avez besoin d'un avocat pour immigration, cas criminel, l'État et fédéral, relais avocat dans le bureau André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Pour accident machine, dérangement dans le travail, glisser et tomber, relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46. Ou ka gen droit jusqu'à $10,000 dans bénéfice. C'est seul un avocat qui peut faire rejoindre l'argent. Nous ici là pour servir. Si vous pas touché, nous pas touché. Ou pas pral doué frais avocat avec dépenses. Relais avocat André Pierre dans 305 398 96 46 ou soit aller dans 550 Northeast 124e rue dans North Miami.
Nous bien contents d'être restés avec nous. Nous retournons encore on this special show with our special guest, Lauren. Now, you're talking about all the changes that you brought in from the outside, you know, and all the awareness, all the education, and also all the how you were able to impact and change the laws from the outside. Now, you want to bring those changes from the inside. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, I've grown up in and around the process my whole life, you know, when we walk to Tallahassee because that's where true change takes place and where people were paying attention to this issue, and that's where the laws are made to govern our land and how we can make Florida a safer place. And so we always ended the walk at the steps of the historic Old Capitol. And every year for the past 6 years, we've advocated on behalf of laws. But that's where my advocacy stopped, at the steps of the historic Old Capitol. And I think that we've done a tremendous amount of work, but I still wanted to do more. and still want to do more to make Florida the best place that it can be, because we're great, but I know that we can be even greater. And so
Right.
very much excited for this new phase of advocacy in my life, and I'm very excited to be running for the Florida Senate, and really am passionate about protecting our children, but also access to health care and our K-12 education system and higher ed, and also mental health. Florida is 49th in the country in per capita spending as it relates
wow.
to mental health.
Wow.
That is simply
We're
unacceptable.
not spending the money.
We're not. And so, I mean, infrastructure, there are tremendous amounts of things that I'm immensely excited to be a part of, because again, I'm from here, born here, raised here, and believe so much in who and what we are as a state, and know that we can continue to grow and be better.
Well, autant de ça, Lauren dit nous, Australie dit comme ça qu'il y a presque 8 ans, depuis qu'elle a frappé dans la porte, vient avec change pour changer la loi, pour le voir que les gens qui sont moun a abusé au cas où nous paquet aide yo besoin. Et qu'on y a dit comme ça qu'il pral représenter nous dans Florida Senate là comme un sénateur pour nous voir qui gens que nous ca aider le river avec rêve ça. Bernadette, how you are in this process, with not only, I mean, Lauren's kids, I'm with, we all have our children. So now she's going inside and she told you, what her platform is and all the issues that she's going to.
I actually applaud Lauren because, seriously speaking, we need more educators to represent us because, no disrespect, but there's a lot of politicians that are making law or making decisions for educators, and they do not know anything about education.
Okay.
Yes, we all went to school. Yes, we all got a degree. But that doesn't make you an actual expert in educators.
Okay.
So I think that by having Lauren in the state Senate, we'll have a voice, and then she will be able to hear our concern and then help us to remedy certain situation that we are experiencing within our school system.
So now, I think there were 5 issues that you touched on quickly. Mental health. Okay, you say we are 49th in the country in terms of making sure that
Spending.
people are getting treated. What's the problem there? Why are we not treating people well?
I think that I think mental health is a highly stigmatized issue, and one where, again, those who suffer from mental health issues aren't necessarily able to advocate for themselves.
That's
and I
right.
think, again, coming from where I came from, not having a voice and having to find my voice and help others find theirs, I find myself very in the same space and in the same place and needed mental health services.
Right.
And so really want to do better for that population and advocate for that spending, because we need to do better.
But I think Bernadette said it well. Coming from that background, for the last 8 years with Lauren Kids, continue to educate and telling folks that it's okay to tell. And I see young Haitian kids, that have been abused, that are getting comfortable to go forward and discuss and say that, here's what happened to me and here's the person that did it to me, even though they may not be able to disclose it to their parents or the family members, but they actually have gone to the school to actually do so. Where else do you think that changes is going to be made to make sure that these kids get better protection?
I think that within our school systems, we do a lot. But we ask educators to do a lot and a lot
And
more
more.
and a lot more and a lot more and less time. And so I think that we really need to also look at guidance counselors in our schools. And they're doing tremendous
Tremendous
amounts and testing and everything else. I think that we need to, again, put some more funds into guidance counselors.
Okay.
I think that we need to really treat them as they are, guidance counselors, and to be able to guide our students
That's
in an
right.
appropriate way. Our K-12 system is wonderful. But again, I think that we test kids to a point where it's a difficult
ridiculous.
place.
Right,
I was in the classroom. I have my education as an educator.
Right,
And I think that we need to the pendulum needs to swing a little bit.
Right.
And I think that there has to be a safe place for kids. School needs to be that place. And
Yeah.
we need to provide that and make sure that they have a robust school system. School was the safest place I ever was, which is a thought that you think that kids are safe in their own homes.
Right.
That's not always the case.
Right, yeah.
The safest place and the most enriching environment for
That could
children
be, the
may be
school.
school. And so we need to remember that educators, that teaching is the profession that begins all others. And I
Okay.
think we need to really remember that teachers, guidance counselors are the bedrock and foundation of how our children grow and are enriched to become contributing members of society.
Excellent. Another issue, putting Floridians back to work.
Oh. We need to get people back to work. We need to make it so that businesses can thrive, so that they can hire individuals, so that they can get back to work. I think that it's so important that we get folks and give businesses opportunities to flourish in communities so that
Okay.
people can come back and continue to grow our development and economic process, and so that Florida and South Florida in particular can be prosperous.
Right.
We are, and we need to continue to grow that. I'm very excited about Margaritaville, the new hotel, and lots of folks coming back
Right.
into North Miami, and it's an exciting time in our
Yeah.
state, and I think we need to continue to grow that and allow businesses to flourish here.
Okay, taxes.
Oh man, nobody likes taxes. I think that again, we need to be fiscally responsible in
Right.
the things that we do, and we need to be strategic and smart in how we do certain things. And I think we need to look at the structure, what's in place, and how we can make sure that citizens are taken care of, but that we are responsible and strategic in, again, how we place funds.
Wow. Lauren, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
accepting this invitation to
Thank
be on the show. Would you tell the viewers that if they would like to get a hold of the future senator, how to do it, and how to get a hold of the advocate, the educator for children, how to do it?
Sure. For those of you who'd love to learn more about Lawrence Kids, our website is www.lawrencekids.org, and you can send us an email through the Contact Us platform on the website, and I get every single one of those emails. You can also, if you'd like to learn more about the campaign, visit our website at www.laurenbook.com.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bernadette, been a teacher for over almost 20 years and have been the president of the Haitian Educators of DADE. How, if the parents would like to get connected and making sure that they could get connected to what's happening and our excitement that they are with Lawrence Kids, how can they do so?
They can definitely contact us at 786-529-2122, and also visit our website also, which is AHED, AHED, Florida.org.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You have been very helpful to the community. Again, nous disons merci de ce qu'on regarde dans l'autre émission, Law, Politics and Society. Et nous voyons que my co-host, my partner, Max Osinal, nous disons merci encore. Nous l'autre semaine. Merci. Passons une bonne nuit.
Merci.
Okay.